So after Obama's speech last night laying out our new war plans in Iraq and Syria and elsewhere, Yemen, Somalia, and then listening to the media this past week, it struck me. You remember that thing that we said would never happen again? This irrational march to war like we did after 9/11? We're doing it. The media is doing it right now. If you don't believe me, take a look.
He doesn't seem to be passionate enough. If I'm the president, I say, look, I'm going to kill every one of these bastards, and I'm not going to tell you how, but I'm going to go in and I'm going to kill them. You know why? Because they want to kill us, and they already have killed American citizens, and they're out to put the world in a very, very bad place. So I am going to use American power to kill as many as I can. Thank you. Good night. Go watch your entertainment program.
Outside of nuclear weapons, the most horrific weapon that we have, and neutron weapon, of conventional weapons, I think, is the fuel air bomb. Most people don't know about the fuel air bomb. It's a really terrifying weapon. And it actually, it sprays fuel in the air just above the ground. And once it sprays it out, the bomb explodes and ignites the sky above the troops. And it actually eats up all of the oxygen in the air. So it removes the air from the lungs.
And for us as an American society to think that all of a sudden we don't sacrifice anymore for our freedom is really wrong.
ISIS is a specific threat. We probably know of 50 targets on which we can go boom, boom, boom.
You're looking up and you can't breathe anymore. There's no air. And then it rains fire on you. It's a horrific, horrific bomb. So the fuel air bomb, I'm sorry, but if you want to fight them, you have to fight them with everything that we have. And I mean, you go to your generals. I'm the president. You go to the generals and say, I'm taking nukes off the table. No neutron bomb, no nuclear weapons. Everything else, you've got 1 week. Forget shock and awe. And we're not warning them. I'm warning them tonight. We're coming for you. You got 7 days. Give them you show the world what America does when we unleash the might and full power of the United States of America. Suck the air out of their lungs and push them back into the darkness. So maybe we can have 30 more years before we have to do it again.
This is a terrorist organization that wants to take down America. Why would we outsource it, number one? And number two, why would we put limitations on our security? Said, well, we had a real bad experience in the Middle East before, so we're not going to put boots on the ground this time around either. We don't know.
I do think we're underestimating the ability, what's some use of force, even from the air, with, I think, some people on the ground to help out. Someone said on the panel with me, we can't just bomb. I mean, we have to really think about this and have a long debate and discussion. You know what? Why don't we know where ISIS is. What's the harm of bombing them, at least, for a few weeks and seeing what happens? I don't think there's much in the way of unanticipated side effects that are going to be bad there.
And they may attack us here at home. It's all part of the real world we live in. The world we don't live in is a world of total security at home, no ground engagement overseas, no involvement in Iraq or Syria or Afghanistan. We get out completely, but somehow we stay in and win an air battle or with drones. Again, you can't win a war that immaculately. You've got to get your hands dirty and you've got to take casualties.
We don't retreat. We don't forget. We take care of those who are grieving, and when that's finished, they should know we will follow them to the gates of hell.
Where is the rational conversation? The debates, the two sides, the progressives, the non-interventionists, the libertarians. Where are Democrats who say, hold your horses? Look, in that clip there, you saw liberals, you saw Ed Schultz, Chris Matthews, Joe Biden, you saw conservatives. The media across the board right now, I don't know if there's anybody. I mean, Bill Maher was on MSNBC briefly last night. He advocated for non-interventionism. Rand Paul's been questionable. I mean, it depends which day you catch him. Some days he's in favor of non-intervention. Other days he's hawkish. Hillary Clinton's out there saying, oh, yes, I would have armed the Syrian rebels much sooner. Because, and also, like I've said 100 times, when Saudi Arabia did that, the weapons went to ISIS. So, you want to arm them again and have more weapons go to ISIS? I mean, everybody's screaming for intervention. This is exactly what happened in 2003. Now, look, I get it. ISIS, they're fucked up. They're terrorists. They're terrible. They're hideous. They're horrendous. I mean, I don't know how many words I can say it in. I don't know how much clearer I can get the message through. Nobody's in favor. Nobody's in favor, right? And are they doing damage and fucking up Iraq and Syria right now? Absolutely. And should we do anything about it? That's the question. Now, look, my answer is both yes and no. No, in the sense that everybody right now is screaming for war in Iraq, which we're doing, 1,000 ground troops there, more airstrikes. War in Syria, in terms of airstrikes in Syria, that's what Obama announced last night. Arming the Syrian rebels, Obama announced that last night. Fighting in other places, Yemen and Somalia, like Obama said last night. We're going to attack you wherever you are. So I don't want that. In that case, no. The only area where I say yes is, like I said before, if you follow international law. So go to the UN, go to NATO, get approval, Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, go through Congress, right? And get the approval to do limited, keyword, limited strikes in Iraq only when ISIS is isolated, no pun intended, when they're moving from one place to another. Like, for example, when they took Mosul and then moved on, there was a day or two where they were just out in the desert driving to their next place. Okay, that's the perfect time to do some limited tactical drone strikes after getting approval via international law, etc. And then that's it. Look, if you go any deeper than that, they think like, oh, we're being tough guys, we're going to get these guys. But if you go any deeper than what I just explained, it makes it worse. It makes it worse. Now, what's my evidence for that? We are doing more than that right now. We're doing an extended air campaign in Iraq. Well, there was an article that broke 2 days ago in Reuters where they described how, well, great, we pushed ISIS out of 20 or so towns and counting, so more and more as time goes by here, took back part of the Mosul Dam, and now you know what happened? The Shiites, who were fighting alongside Hezbollah, mind you, and also the Kurdish Peshmerga, so we kicked out ISIS, the Shiites started beheading some Sunnis and started burning down houses. And the Kurdish and the Shiites were working together, and then as soon as they pushed back ISIS, there was no longer a common enemy. They started fighting each other. So it's chaos either way. The more intervention you do, again, I get it. If it's a clear right and wrong situation, Yazidis on the mountaintop, they're going to starve to death, and ISIS is beheading them. I get it. Then you get the approval and go after ISIS. But anything further than that, you're not making it better. You're just making it different. Okay? So that's the thing people need to realize. And also, don't make the same mistake as George Bush. You go in guns blazing, you attack so many people, you kill so many people that you end up creating more terrorists because you get innocent people, and then people that were in the families and were the friends go, fuck it, now I'm going to join a radical group because my best friend is dead or my aunt is dead or you name it. So this strategy of perpetual war is a bad idea. It's not going to work. And also, you make us a bigger target. I mean, you think ISIS was primarily concerned with the U.S. when they were fighting Bashar Assad? They were fighting certain factions of the FSA. They were fighting the Shiite government in Iraq. They were hating Iran and their militias. No, they were focused on that. But then when we go in there and we attack them, now all of a sudden they're releasing videos saying, oh, now we're going to come after you. And then you do the same, like Obama said, we go after other groups, other, terrorist groups, Al-Shabaab, Al-Nusra Front, Ansar al-Sharia, al-Qaeda. They also say, all right, now we're going to fucking attack you when we weren't focused on you before. So these guys, they think they're being macho. They think they're being smart. You're not helping. You're making it worse. Go away. None of you know what the fuck you're talking about.